Hello everyone, today we are making the third painting in the white and gold series. We start off by marking a point at slightly lower than the two-third point. It is almost between the two-third and the half point. And we start making diagonal lines using a scale which go through that center point. This we are doing this just to give us an idea so as to how we have to make the texture. This is a fully gold textured painting. We're gonna make it completely gold. You will see the progress as we go forward. I start by applying the texture paste along the diagonal lines. Make sure that you take your time and spread the texture paste as evenly as possible. We do not need a very thin layer. It is medium thick, about an or 2 layer is good. And we start by spreading it across some portions. I am not spreading the whole texture paste all over and then working and then making the texture lines. I am going to do it in bits and pieces, probably half the canvas now and then the other half of the canvas. This series has brought me a lot of joy because as we see the transition of the paintings, they begin as white, they begin in a very different fashion, and at each stage of the painting it feels like, okay, this is enough, I can leave it as it is. Like, that is the beauty of texture paintings. You can either begin and leave it white, or sometimes I have this very strong will that, you know what, this looks so pretty, I just want to leave it white as it is, or just give a white paint coat and let it be. So maybe in future I might come up with a white series of texture paintings. As you can see, I start making the texture. We make long lines along the diagonal lines which we have already made. So I am using a spatula to do this. We can, go along. As you can see in the video, I am taking my time with it, and this is very important in these kinds of textures. The more lines that I draw, the closer that I draw, and the kind of perfection that I give the texture is what is going to make the painting beautiful in the end. So we have to take our time with this. You cannot rush this process. You cannot make the lines very far apart, because if you do that, it will not give you the desired look, it will not give you the color intensity, it will not give you the intense texture that we are going for in this painting. Also, I am, as in my introductory video, if you've not seen that video, I urge you to go and see that video, because that is the video where I have explained the whole process of how I am planning my wall art. I am going to add some more snippets in coming videos, but it is a 7 painting scheme with white and gold. How I planned it, what wall I am planning it on, and how it is going to turn out. So, even as I am making each painting, the ideas are evolving. The process with this, I am going with the flow, because in a lot of other paintings, what we do is we have an inspiration, we have a mood board, or we have kind of something in mind that this is how I want my 7 paintings to turn out. Or normally I have a plan. Okay, if there are 7 paintings, one painting is going to be this, one is going to be this. Like with my ocean theme, I had one was going to be a wave, one was going to be seashell. But with this theme, I am just letting the ideas flow. So whenever I see a good painting on Pinterest, or any other, on Instagram or something. I just go for it. As I said, I am doing it in two parts. I am now spreading the texture paste on the second part, and then I'm going to make the same texture again. And this needs time, patience, but it is an extremely satisfying and enjoyable process. So I hope if you try this, you will enjoy it a lot. It is sort of therapeutic. Making the texture is actually the most fun part of this painting. And yes, obviously then applying the paint is interesting as well, but this is actually the best part, the part that I enjoy the most. And the beauty of the painting, the character of the painting, totally depends on how you create this texture and how well you do it. So ensure that you do not leave any crevices, you do not leave any corners. Keep in mind that you have to be as meticulous and as precise as possible. Also, since it is not like a very, this is a random structure, you can also be as easygoing as possible, because all you have to do is just take the spatula and draw long lines in the direction of the painting. If you change the direction of the painting, or if you do not maintain the diagonals, that is when you will have some problem. Otherwise, it doesn't matter if every line is not straight, it is not 100% perfect. You have a chance to redo it, you have a chance to make it again. That is the beauty of textured art. You can be as messy as you want to be, and it will still turn out to be really pretty. So as you can see, we're almost at the 3/4 mark. And yeah, as I was saying, so this is going to be one of the top two paintings. Like, there are three tires in this wall. 2 3 2 are, these are the kind of sets. So what I am planning to do is, the first set of two paintings are going to have a similar vibe, the next three are going to have a similar vibe, and the last two are going to have a similar vibe. This is what I have frozen until this point. So in the next video, I'm going to show you in detail what the plan is. So stay tuned for that. Now, as we are coming to an end, I am making sure that the thickness of the texture is reasonable, and then I am completing the last part of the texture painting. This, you know, uh, it looks so pretty as it comes towards an end. Like, that is like really amazing. When you begin your artwork and then you reach a point where it comes to an end and you see the completed thing, and you feel like the satisfaction that, oh my god, this is looking really pretty. So yeah, the texture is ready. As with any other texture, we have to let it dry for about 24 hours, and then I gave it a good coat of gold. But as you can see, with one coat, I could still see the bottom, I could still see some, white part. So I decided to give it a second coat, which I have recorded. I forgot to record when I was giving it the first coat of gold paint. So then we will give it a second coat, and as you can see, this coat is covering everything really well. So with such texture paintings, you mostly need two coats, and the thicker the texture, you will need more amount of paint. So don't be stingy with the paint, just use a lot of paint so that you get that intense color. So with this painting also, I am doing the same thing. I am giving it nice thick coat. I am using the Fevicryl acrylic colors, fabric acrylic colors, for my painting. Normally, Flash or Fevicryl, these are the two brands I use. Sometimes in the middle I had a few Faber Castell tubes which I was using, but currently these are the only two paints that I'm using. And uh, a lot of times I also ensure that the paint stays in a place. Certain places it flakes, certain places the paint just doesn't sit, so you have to go in over 3 times, 4 times, or maybe in such cases you have to go for a thick layer. And then this is what the final result of the painting is: beautiful, beautiful textured art in white and gold. You can put it anywhere in the house and it'll just look fabulous.